Hello, and welcome to the TW Health Studies Online Programs Orientation. My name is Heidi Ashbaugh, and I am the Online Program Director for the Department of Health Studies. I am a TW graduate and have experience as an academic librarian, an instructional designer for online education, and I often teach as an adjunct in the areas of composition and literature, both face-to-face and online. I also have experience as an online learner, and I received my master's degree in library science completely online. I'm excited to welcome you to our online programs. As you will see, my presentation is just the first of several that you will find in the online orientation area, and all of these presentations have been designed to provide you with important information that will help you get off to a good start in the new semester or as a new health studies student. Let's start with a little information about the Health Studies Department. Our department is chaired by Dr. Gay James. We also have 3 associate professors, Dr. Marilyn Massey-Stokes, Dr. Roger Shipley, who is also the undergraduate advisor and internship coordinator, and Dr. Kristen Wigington. In addition, we have several assistant professors, Dr. Thomas Coyle, Dr. Kimberly Parker, who is the graduate program coordinator, Dr. Jody Terrell, Dr. Katie Crossland, Dr. Mandy Goldman, and Dr. Julio Guerrero. As you continue through our program, you'll probably become pretty familiar with a lot of these names. We have some really great professors on staff, and they really want to see you succeed in your studies. Additionally, on staff, we have myself, the online program director, Ms. Margaret Cortez, who is the course support specialist, Mr. David Infante, our online undergraduate academic advisor, Ms. Morgan O'Donnell, the graduate academic advisor, and Ms. Cindy Snyder, our administrative assistant. And we also have several wonderful adjunct instructors that teach for us repeatedly throughout the semesters, so you'll probably get to know them fairly well as well. There's 2 main important systems for you to know as an online student. It's possible that you already understand these systems, but I just wanted to go over them again here really quickly. Pioneer Portal and Blackboard are these 2 main systems that you're going to interface with as you go through your studies here at TWU. Blackboard is where you actually go to class. It's the e-learning platform. It's going to be your entry point to class announcements, course materials, your communication tools, and of course the health studies forums. Pioneer Portal is where you get more of your information that's specific to you, like your university email, your registration information, unofficial transcripts, final grades, billing and financial aid information, and access to a variety of other university services. So I just want to remind you to keep in mind that there are the 2 different systems that you'll be using while you're a student here at TWU. Some of the typical activities that you might be expected to participate in during your coursework include reading. Of course, there is a lot of reading that goes along with being an online student. Taking exams, you might be taking tests within Blackboard, or you might just be submitting assignments. You'll be interacting a lot with faculty and students, which means you will typically be participating in a discussion board. You might also be talking live via the chat tool or working in Wimba, the synchronous classroom, or you could possibly be working in a group on some projects. So there are a lot of different kinds of course activities that are going to allow you to interact with your peers even though you're in the online environment. Some of the basic technical skills that you're going to need to be successful in online learning are probably some that many of you are already familiar with. Sending and receiving email. You'll be emailing your instructor and possibly others within your class. Creating, sending, and receiving documents like Word documents or PowerPoints. Posting to a discussion board, saving, printing, and opening documents, and these could be in various formats such as PDFs or JPEGs, which are actually kind of picture file. And then of course you're going to need to know how to navigate the Blackboard environment. If at any point you feel unsure of how to complete an activity using technology, please be sure to ask your instructor or even one of your peers. Often your peers can be a really great source of assistance, and asking questions can be a good way to possibly start up a new friendship with somebody in your class. You do need to use your TWU email address for all your correspondence with your instructors. So take a minute as soon as you can to check and make sure that this is the email address that is listed in your Blackboard information. From the very first page when you log into Blackboard, go to the Tools menu in the upper left area of your screen and go to Personal Information section. There are a lot of different settings located in that section, and it's a good idea to check this area out anyway and make sure that everything is set up correctly for your preferences. So make sure that your TW email address is listed here. This ensures that when your instructor sends you an email from Blackboard, it will get to you. Now, why is this important? Well, using that address ensures your privacy. What that means is that your email is stored on the TWU servers instead of on Google's servers or Yahoo's servers or the servers for whoever the provider of your internet is. If you are talking with your instructor, it's quite possible that it could be information such as grades that you want to keep private. So it's a privacy issue, and it's actually a university policy that you do this. If you do have a different personal email account, you can forward your TW email to that account. This will help ensure that you don't miss any correspondence from your instructor. However, you will still need to respond to your instructor using your TWU email account. So another thing here that you might consider, if you have a smartphone and typically access your email there, then you probably have the option to have multiple email accounts pushed to your phone. You can learn to set up your TWU email to go to your phone at the URL listed here on the slide. Also, just remember that if you need to send the instructors an email, please follow their instructions for how to format the subject line. All of your instructors should have this information either in the syllabus or in the course, and they will let you know how they want you to put that information into the subject line so that they don't miss anything important from you, and so that they will see your email quickly and be able to respond to it. I also just want to reinforce that there are a few key traits that successful distance students share. Since I actually did get one of my degrees completely online, I speak from experience when I tell you these things. Time management is a big one. You have to make sure that you schedule time for learning. A lot of times at the beginning of a course, the instructor will tell you how many hours per week you should plan on spending on that course. And sometimes it seems like a lot of time, but I will guarantee you that if you actually sit down and spend some time every week dedicated to your studies, it is really going to pay off. Try not to just crunch things in here and there. Give yourself some time to really think about what's going on. Focus and concentrate on your work. Attendance is important. Even though you're a distance student, you are still going to be responsible for logging into your class at certain times during the week. You need to be in there. You need to be paying attention. You don't want to miss an important announcement or an important discussion, so attendance is very important. Self-motivation is extremely important, especially for online learning. You're not being held accountable to someone like you would be in a face-to-face class. It's all up to you as to how much time you put into this and how seriously you take the class. So you really have to find a way to motivate yourself. Keep your eye on the prize. What is that career that you want to get to at the end of your degree? Keep thinking about that and really work to achieve your goals. Preparedness is important. You will be expected to do college-level work in this program. Our instructors have high expectations for you, and this is because they know that you will need to work at a certain level in order to succeed in your future goals. Whether you are a new student in the undergraduate program and your goal is to be certified in CHES, or you are a student in the graduate program who's working toward a degree that will help you in your employment, whatever your situation, the fact is that in today's world, in order for you to be successful and to stand out from the crowd, you have to exhibit certain qualities. Studying hard and being prepared for the assignments in each course is going to help you carry that knowledge throughout the program and into your professional life after school. Good time management and self-motivation will help feed into being prepared and able to participate in your courses at the level that your instructors are going to expect from you. Strong ethics is important. In your courses you will learn, or may already have learned, about the ethics related to health educators. Additionally, during your coursework, you will be doing research and writing on a wide variety of topics, so you will need to be concerned with using resources correctly, completing your own work, and avoiding the possibility of plagiarizing. Communication is possibly the most important of these traits. As a distance student, you will be communicating in a different way than you may be used to. You need to learn how to communicate effectively with your peers and instructor in the online environment, but you also need to realize that you may possibly have to ask for help. I realize that a lot of us don't like to do that, but if you learn how to ask for help, it can make a huge difference in your learning experience. Asking questions is one of the keys to learning things, so please don't be afraid to ask for help as soon as you know that you really need it. Here I'd like to say just a few more words about communication. Etiquette and netiquette are both very important in the online course because communication online is different from face-to-face communication. In our day-to-day activities, we depend much more on facial expression and tone of voice than you would think, so it's important to read over everything you're going to post, for example, emails and discussion board posts, and think about how those words will be received. I always try to put myself in the shoes of the person receiving that email or reading that discussion post and think about how I might interpret it. Also remember to treat other ideas and opinions with respect, even if you don't agree with them. The academic world is built upon the idea of discourse, which is exhibited through the communication of our ideas in a respectful manner. Flaming is essentially an email or post that is offensive or disrespectful in some way. This will not be tolerated in our online classes. As an example of how different online communication can sometimes be, typing in all capital letters typically means that you are yelling. So please think and type carefully. Keep in mind that not everyone is online at the same time or as frequently throughout the day as others. Remember that responses from other students or your instructor are unlikely to be instantaneous, and try to allow for the indicated appropriate amount of response time before sending another request. Be sure to read your instructor's response information carefully so that you can plan for when it is best to contact them and when they will be able to respond. Also remember that text speak is not appropriate in the academic environment. So while you may be LOLing, it is usually not appropriate to type this in an email or the discussion board. And lastly, where etiquette is concerned, remember that traditional etiquette rules apply to phone calls. If you need to leave a message, speak slowly and clearly. Leave your name, the course that you are in, and a phone number where you can be reached, along with your question. Again, remember that you may not receive a phone call back right away. Additionally, if you are speaking with someone in the department other than the person you need assistance from, please remember that they may not be able to assist you and may need to transfer you to the appropriate person. Everyone on staff has different duties. For example, the administrative assistant will never be able to provide you with enrollment access codes because she doesn't have access to them. That's what our advisors do, so you would need to discuss this with your advisor or wait for them to return your phone call or email. Lastly, I just want to mention a few things about being an online learner that can be pretty important. Freedom to work at any time doesn't mean freedom from deadlines. Working in the online environment gives you a lot of freedom to work when you want to. If you want to complete your assignment at 2 in the morning, you can do that. However, there will still be deadlines. None of our courses are self-paced, and there will be due dates for everything. Also, talking in the online environment takes practice, so you may need to be more aware of how others perceive your words. Most importantly, staying involved in the course will help you connect to your instructor, your classmates, and the material. Be sure that you check in on the course frequently every week. Try to buddy up with someone else. Maybe find 1 or 2 other people in your class that you touch base with on a regular basis so that if you feel like you missed out on something, you'll have someone else that you can ask a question. And be sure that you read everything that is posted and read it thoroughly and closely. Keep in mind, too, that online doesn't necessarily have to mean distant. Especially here at TWU, it seems like we have a lot of students taking online classes who actually live within the DFW area, so it's quite possible that the new friend you make online is someone that you could actually meet and go have coffee with at a later date. Here are just a few resources that you might find helpful. The Teaching and Learning with Technology department has created a guide for online learners that can be accessed at the URL shown here. They also have a nice resource on Blackboard specifically created for students that can help you with technical aspects of things such as answering a discussion board or submitting an assignment. Additionally, the TW Help Desk is available to answer questions by phone, email, or chat. So this ends my portion of the presentations. Thank you for your attention.